It's the hunting trip of a lifetime. Driven game in a German forest, stuffed full of it. You've got the rifle, the scope and the bullets. For the first hour, the adrenaline keeps you warm and focused. Then it starts raining, even snowing, and you soon start feeling cold, wet and miserable. You lose focus, start moving, opportunities are lost, and it's game over. That is, unless of course you choose your hunting wardrobe wisely. So before we hit the high seat, we're going behind the scenes of technical clothing guru Gore-Tex. Their world famous brand is used by athletes, climbers, bikers and of course shooters. The Danish brand Harkila is leading the charge in technical hunting gear, and its Pro Hunter X collection is lined with the Gore-Tex membrane. Harkila has agreed to lend Dom a suit to abuse in the laboratory, rain tower, storm cube and of course the field. We know the kit is good quality, but exactly why is it so expensive? Feet first, and we start with the Gore-Tex lined Harkila boots. They need to pass some pretty grueling tests before they hit the market.
This is our equipment for testing the shoes. These are artificial foot, which are flexible and have many water sensors on it. Okay. With help of them, we can see if the shoe is leaking and in which directions and in which area. With help of the screen,
so each one of the green dots represents a different sensor.
Right.
This particular pair of boots, how long are they in for and how many repetitions do they have to go through to pass this test?
Our Gore standard for this test is 200,000 of these movements for each shoe. Okay. So that always the pair. And then when you have a distance, it's about more than 350 kilometers in the water. Depends on the size of the person.
Those are some toe-curling statistics, but hunters need to look after the extremities. Although we're not stalking through the German forests this week, a soggy sock in freezing temperatures is no laughing matter when you're stuck in a high seat. To make doubly sure that the boot is watertight, they fill them with 1.5 litres of water and stick them in a centrifuge to try and squeeze it from the inside out.
Okay, so Stefan, we've got the boots, they're now spinning at 250 revolutions per minute. Yeah. How long do you leave them for this particular test?
The test needs half an hour because here with this you can really see if the shoe is really waterproof. Because especially if you have a stiff hunting boot, then it can happen that it takes a little bit more time that water comes out when the shoe is leaking.
This allows it to soak through the leather, through the thing, so if there is any leakage you'll be able to see it.
Right, correct.
The loo roll test has been passed with flying colours.
The boots are watertight, but what about the clothing? It's time for the rain tower. Dom has come up with a comparison test. His hunting outfit from 2008, when David first filmed him boar shooting in the UK, compared to the Pro Hunter X outfit.
So here we are in the Gore-Tex rain tower, and this is basically a torture chamber for Gore-Tex fabrics. It's designed to see just how waterproof stuff is. We get an awful lot of garments in for test on the magazine, and a lot of people say to us it's too expensive, you know, it can't possibly be worth the money. I can go and buy some army surplus stuff for a few quid from the market, it's good enough for the job. Well, we thought we'd test that while we were here. This outfit, modelled by our friend, who's looking a lot trimmer than me these days, this was probably the first outfit I wore when I filmed with David on the Fieldsports Channel. It's my old boar hunting coat, some camouflage trousers. It cost, I think, 20 or 30 quid, and I used to think it was more than good enough for the job. After all, you don't want to get your best clothes covered in mud and blood. So we've rigged it up in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to see just how waterproof it is and how long it lasts. And to do that, we need our tame executioner, so we're going to introduce you to Stefan. Stefan, you are driving the rain tower for us today. Can you just explain to us in simple terms what it does?
The rain tower is a tool to test the performance of new prototypes before the styles go into production. We test them for construction and for manufacturing problems, probably.
So it's designed to simulate all types of bad weather. That's the basis of it.
It is a lab tool. So we have certain kinds of rain. We cannot do everything, but we can do things that are quite close to reality.
Soon the jacket looks heavy and sodden. To give it the full Monty, Stefan gives it the motorbike nozzle.
So this is after 5 minutes.
You can say 5 minutes of different kinds of rain. So it's, imagine you're walking and you're sometimes behind a bush, it's less. Then you're coming out, it's more, it's wind driven. So kind of this situation. And you see here,
it's come right through, hasn't it?
Yeah, you see that it's coming through the surface, of course, because there's no membrane. Yeah.
You're going to have a fairly miserable day if you have a wet day hunting in this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Next, we need to turn the hose on the Harkila.
So they said they wanted to test out the new Harkila Pro Hunter X clothing on a new dummy. I didn't realise they meant me. It's safe to say that if the conditions were like this, you'd probably be thinking about going home. But the truth is, if you're out on the hill, and you're a 3-hour hike from home or from your vehicle, you've just got to put up with it. And that means that your gear's got to put up with it. And that means that your gear's got to be good. Because at the end of the day, if you're soaking wet and you're freezing cold, you're miserable. You're not going to be enjoying your hunting. But it's even more serious than that, because it's fine in the laboratory, but if you're freezing cold and soaking wet and you're a long way from home, it can be the difference between getting home and not getting home. Maybe not in our clement conditions in England, but if you're hunting abroad where the weather gets really cold and it comes in really hard, having the kind of gear that keeps you warm and keeps you dry might just save your life.
Don does about 10 minutes in the chamber and is as dry as a crisp.
So the microphone's still working, which I think is probably pretty good. I think the most important test, Stefan, if you can just reach into my inside pocket and can you check if my fags are dry? Perfect.
To assist the drying process, we also stick Dom in the Storm Cube to see the benefits of Windstopper.
So we're being subjected to up to 80 km/h winds, really cold winds. I can feel the chill on the back of my neck. And anybody who's ever been out in a strong cold wind, when you get wet, it can be absolutely debilitating. The Windstopper fabric is not waterproof, but it instantly cuts that wind chill. So whether I'm facing it, as soon as I take my hands out, I can feel the chill, I feel it on the back of my neck, but none of it is getting through and robbing that temperature from my body core.
The last part of the tour is the torture chamber, where garments get chewed, twisted, stretched, pricked and rubbed raw. Michael Canderhead is the marketing manager for Gore-Tex. He's also a hunter and appreciates the importance of good quality hit when stalking moose in Sweden.
Hunting needs special performance in terms of quietness and ruggedness and durability. So it's a lot of things which is special for hunting. Yeah. And, you know, you're walking, sitting, and you're in a different environment. It could be cold, rainy. So it's a tough, very tough conditions for hunting.
And the breathability aspect is very important, isn't it? Because it's all very well and good keeping the rain out, but if you're active and you're sweating, you can't afford to be uncomfortable.
I think one of the most important things for hunting is stay dry and warm, because if you get wet, you will get cold, and then you will lose focus on the hunting and it will not be as funny as it can be. Yeah. So I think it's also because hunters spend a lot of time and money investing to pursue their passion, and they invest in rifles and ammunition and scopes, etc. But I think sometimes that investment is worthless if you're getting cold.
How do you develop your working relationship with a brand such as Harkila?
We are mostly working together because they do the final garments and we are part of that. But we also have some experience how to make those garments waterproof. They bring in the knowledge about hunting. So it's a combination between how we can make the best hunting garments out there.
not all products described as waterproof are made equal. There's a massive difference between them.
For someone to be able to claim that their product is waterproof, what kind of water column pressure does it need to be?
To claim to be waterproof is 1.3 meters.
1.3 meters. And what specification is your material?
Our specification is 28 meters of water.
28 meters?
Yeah.
But people might not be able to grasp the concept of water column pressure. I don't. So if I'm sitting down, how much pressure am I exerting?
If you're sitting down, the pressure would be around 2 meters of water column.
2 meters of water column.
Yeah.
So, and if I was kneeling, it would be more because I've got more body weight on.
More body weight on a smaller surface.
Okay.
Secure in the knowledge he's going to be dry and warm, Dom arrives bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at the driven hunt. The rules of engagement are explained, as is the importance of not shooting one of the working dogs. There will be about 50 of them pushing through the forest with 25 beaters and 50 guns. Safety is paramount, and the lurid orange colours are even more important in what will be poor visibility today. It's not freezing, but the wind chill is a couple below.
In the UK, we don't have any obligation to wear blaze orange for safety reasons, but obviously, driven hunt, there's over 50 rifles on the ground today. It is imperative that you wear safety colours. You have to wear at least 2 pieces of blaze orange. And what I like about this is the Pro Hunter cap. Nice forest green. Flip it round, you've still got all your waterproofing, all your insulation, but now you've got a blaze orange hat. And on the sleeves, you've got little pockets. And when you open them up, there is a reflective blaze orange high-vis band that you simply loop round, Velcro on, and you're ready for a driven hunt. So you don't have to pack an orange hat, you don't have to pack a tabard or armbands or anything like that. Your day-to-day hunting stuff has already got the functionality built in, which I think is a great idea.
The fog is proving problematic. When we do see movement, Dom judges this row to be a buck, which is not allowed. Erring on the side of caution is probably best to avoid upsetting both the host and the bank manager. The beaters come and go, the dogs suddenly firing up when they pick up a scent. This time they're on the tail of Red Hind. Dom gets set for a shot, but she's back end on, which is a good job, as moments later, appearing out of the fog, is the dog handler, right in the line of fire.
It's just a very, very good reminder that when you've got game everywhere, and when you've got dogs everywhere, and when you've got beaters everywhere, you cannot be too careful, because when she'd stopped, if she hadn't been backside onto us, and she'd been side on, I probably would have taken a shot, and I would have been pretty much shooting straight towards a beater. So yeah, better to be safe than sorry, but it's action. Hopefully we'll see something else before the end of the drive. We've got about half an hour left.
We haven't scored today, but others have been more successful. Reds, boar and a trophy mouflon shot by Sporting Rifles' Peter Carr. Day 2 presents a different field of view and a stumpy high seat. As we're getting comfortable, this roe doe has a quick look. This is more like it. Next is a boar. We get a glimpse of him on the ridge, then he's charging past behind us. Dom lets off a shot, but has to hold fire until it passes over the ridge to give it a second, as a fellow hunter is just up the hill. In replay, you can see Dom's shot strike the edge of the tree.
I had to take a shot then, because otherwise he was not going to be shootable with the track.
Snow begins to fall, but it doesn't feel as cold as yesterday. Next to appear is a roe doe with youngster in tow. She is fair game, but is skylined. Luck is not with us. We've been in the seat for 4 hours, ears pricked, eyes peeled and concentration levels at the best levels they could be, thanks to clothing built for anything the environment can throw at us.
Always disappointing, especially when we had an opportunity at a boar, but that's hunting, and I'd much rather hunt in an open forest, where the animals are wild and your chances are a bit lower than in a fenced area where you're basically guaranteed to see animals, but it doesn't quite seem the same to me, so take it for what it is and hope to have better luck next time.
Hunters invest in the best possible rifle, scope and binos, but clothing seems to be the poor relation, and yet if you're not comfortable, you won't be on top of your game. If you want to find out more about the Harkila range, including the Harkila Pro Hunter X, beautifully modelled by Dom and David, plus their range of boots, go to harkila.com. And if you want to find out more about Gore-Tex, go to gore-tex.com.